From corona fee on liquor to beer being drained, the alcohol and beverage industry has had its fair share of challenges, be it in terms of growth, sustainability, or consumption patterns shifting from restaurants to living room. Hi guys, I'm Kamya Jani from Curly Tales, and we've started a new initiative called CT Cares, where we speak to business owners and operators and get a perspective from them on the food and travel industry. Joining me today on the show is Deepak Sinha, who's the global marketing head at Bira 91, to talk about the future of alcohol and beverages industry. Hi Deepak, thank you so much for joining in. Let's first start by talking about the impact the pandemic has had on the industry. While a lot of people are bulk buying, but I'm sure there'll be some degrowth. Am I right?
That, of course, depends on how long the lockdown continues and how the government will continue to respond to our business. But there are three things I believe everyone will agree to. One is that bars and restaurants will be disproportionately impacted. Let's face it, we go to bars and restaurants to socialize, to meet our friends, and to meet new friends. And it's going to be some time before consumers regain that trust in being out and about. So we do expect a retraction and an overall slowdown to happen in the on-premise channel. Number two, retail shops will continue to see a lift in their business. A lot of the on-premise business is being diverted to the off, and within the off-premise, we are seeing three consumer behaviors. One is that the consumers are shopping value. They're looking for a great product at a great price. And we know this because our boom sales are doing really well. They're also looking for a unique product when it comes to premium products and ones that they recognize. And we're seeing this with our white sales. White is our flagship wheat beer, and it's been doing well in the sort of early stages of resuming business. And then number three, consumers are bulk buying. They're not just buying one beer or two, they're buying 6, 12, and in some cases even walking away with a full case of beer. So that bulk buying, we believe, will continue to happen. And then finally, consumers are entertaining themselves at home. We call it the at-home entertainment occasion. That will continue to become critical, and we're trying to figure out ways of how do we get our brands in the living rooms of our consumers. Because over the past couple of weeks, now couple of months, we've all figured out how to entertain ourselves at home.
But from restaurants and bars, alcohol brands are now moving into people's living rooms. That's quite interesting. But what are your thoughts on the corona fee that the government has levied on liquor?
Coronavirus fee. So overall, no one likes tariffs, especially ones that are in excess. And we see that anywhere from 20 to 70% in some states. And unfortunately, the consumer is the first one to be impacted here because now they're paying so much more money for beer and for alcohol in general. Number two, the small companies such as craft breweries and craft distilleries are being impacted the most in this situation also. And we believe that innovation is the lifeblood of our entire industry, especially in beer, to the point where we've installed a microbrewery within our Mysore brewery to innovate. So because these small businesses are being impacted, we do expect the innovation to slow down significantly. So we hope that there comes some stability to the way we're taxing the alcohol industry really soon.
Absolutely, stability is something that we are all looking forward to. But Deepak, I believe the bottling of Bira 91 would have stopped due to the nationwide lockdown. But now that we've resumed operations, how are you guys going about it?
We are proceeding by looking for efficiencies everywhere, starting with the front end. We know that selling the entire portfolio to every market does not make sense. We need to give our sales team a very sharp focus. We also need to sell the brands that make sense. So we've rationalized which products go where according to consumer demand, and that has then translated into a lot of efficiencies in production and in overall logistics. So as you know, there are mandatory guidelines that have been handed down by the FSSAI, and we are making sure that we comply with all of those and exceed them. We're also making sure that all of our products are safe. Social distancing is in place at all of our breweries. Of course, hand sanitizers, sanitizing by an entire sort of crew, periodically is also happening. So we're really making sure that our workers are safe, that our products are safe.
True. Well, safety clearly seems to be the biggest priority, but so is the revival of the business. So, what is going to be the revival strategy for Bira 91?
So we always start with the consumer, right? What are the products that they're looking for, and how are they going about getting them? What we've seen early on is that consumers are shopping value and they're shopping premium brands that they recognize. So for us, what we've done is we've really looked at our entire business, all of our markets very carefully, and have mapped out our products within the portfolio to different consumers. So we've rationalized how we go to market. And from there, that will also drive efficiencies on our back end. So first is to make sure that we're not selling everything to everyone, and we keep our sales teams focused on getting the right products in the consumer's hands. Number two is that we are also shifting our business to focus more in the off-premise, because we know that that's where consumers will continue to shop. And of course, there are other trends which are right around the corner as far as e-commerce and home delivery. And number three, I think the one that I'm most passionate about in my team is really just maintaining a connection with the consumer. Being human right now is most important, and that is being done in a couple of different ways. One, by talking to our consumers online through our different social media platforms. Also by showing them love right back. So we've seen a lot of UGC over the past 2 months. We've reposted all of the UGC. We've also held a couple of different live sessions with our brewer, which has been very engaging, and we plan on doing more of that. So maintaining that connection with the consumers is most important for us and a part of our revival story.
Well, you're maintaining that connection even better now as liquor is being home delivered. But if you can tell us, what is the kind of consumption pattern, or rather trends and consumption patterns that you are seeing of late?
Liquor is now being delivered at home in India. Yes, it is in some markets. So yes, in some markets, liquor delivery has started, and it is so exciting to see this because it's been long overdue. How this will change consumption, in my opinion, is in two ways. One, I believe this is really good for the premium brands, because premium brands depend on information and they depend on experiences. Two things you can do online really well. And to be able to connect information, experiences to an online purchase is amazing and really exciting. So I think premium brands will be able to really have a platform where they can engage with the consumer and also then connect them to a purchase. And number two, which is really exciting for me, is that I believe that the female consumers who are already drinking more and drinking more beer specifically, I believe that trend will just accelerate right now. So imagine a group of girlfriends hanging out on a Saturday night and not having to go to a liquor store. I think that is a pretty exciting thought because of safety reasons and also because of convenience. So I believe that home delivery will continue to, will start to accelerate the rise of the female consumer, as we call it.
So there is hope even in gloomy days, tapping into new consumers. Deepak, how long before things get back to normalcy?
So I think the overall demand for beer, it's hard to say right now. It's just too early. Because what we see right now is unleashed consumption and a lot of the pipeline fill, as we are, refer to it. So it's going to be some time, maybe another month or 2 months before the business starts to level off and as more retail shops become open.
What about microbreweries, Deepak? What are your thoughts on that as an industry?
On microbreweries, so first off, it breaks my heart to see good beer go to waste. And unfortunately, the microbrewing industry has a very long road ahead of them in terms of recovery. The microbreweries, craft brewers, small distillers are all the lifeblood of innovation. And as I mentioned earlier, we've also installed a microbrewery within our Mysore brewery. So I believe that innovation will slow down. for the next year, but it will recover. It will recover, and it will recover very strongly because the demand is there. Consumers are ready more than ever to try different beers, flavorful beers, and also try different spirits and different cocktails. So as long as the demand is there, that is all that matters in the end, but it will be a rough patch ahead.
Deepak, so nice talking to you. Thank you for sharing those meaningful insights from the alcohol and beverages industry. Thank you from Curly Tales.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time out to learn a little bit about our industry and our brand. Thank you. Have a great